You're looking well. Alhamdulillah. All right. What's that?
Sister Masla, don't try to get your things in. You're not going first, Mama. A couple of guys gonna follow the sisters back. You know, food, inshallah. And then I'll do that tomorrow, all right? So, we're going to enjoy it. Okay, this section is going to go first. It worked, Omar.
When you get there and you realize everybody's not on your level, it's like, so I just want to say thank you for this award. Thanks to my parents and my family and everyone in the community that supported me. And I hope to see you guys again when I graduate from my next school with my bachelor's in hotel and restaurant management.
I didn't do it. So, thank you, Mom. Thank you, Uma.
I traveled to other cities, to my track, to play football. People ask me, what city was I from? You know, I would tell them that I live in Vacuum, but I grew up in Oakland. Some of my best and worst childhood memories happened right here on this playground where we're sitting tonight. One of the funniest memories I have is teacher Sadiq and Brother Chahir was telling us that we were having a football team. The boys were so excited, we began trials in Hell Week the next day. The following week, we were issued jerseys. As the year went on, we designed our team logos and began the CMS draft. Before the year was over, we held the greatest show around, CMS Shrine Ball. And by the way, I am playing in a real Shrine Ball, you know, Southern California, July 12th. For those who can't make it, it will be on Fox Sports Network. Don't forget that. I said all that just at the opening word, Dean Muhammad High School. The dream of having a real football team is finally here. I want to thank the CMS staff for their love and support, and congratulations to the CMS students, because now they don't have to leave home to get a good education.
Go ahead, bro.
Assalamu alaikum. I worked and went to school at the same time, and with the blessings and the help from my parents and the community, it inspired me to continue to receive my education. And I would like to also let the children, the future generation, to know also that the education is the key to success, and to continue and not to give up. All right? Thank you.
Excuse me, I was deep. Yeah, I'm gonna make a little extra long presentation since my brother Bilal Nasir is here. He's supposed to be getting one of these things as well, I guess. I actually has his award in my hand right now. They told me mine is on the way. So I got a little nervous when, you know what I'm saying, when I looked at it, you know. But that's all right. I'd just like to say thank you to the community for support, not only me, but all the children at Third Muhammad School up to this point. And thank you to everybody who will support Third Muhammad School and work in Muhammad School, inshallah, in the future. Yeah, we had, like Umar said, we had a lot of good times here. I remember when I beat Omar up in the first grade. I think I beat Tahid and Tariq up too. As we said, he plays football now, so I don't think I'll be challenging him anytime. But thank you guys. Real special award. Inshallah, we can get a lot more people up here next year, and then 4 years for working at Muhammad High School, Oakland, California. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Is Brother Tahid Sabria here?
I'd like to thank the community for supporting me for all these years. I'm almost 18. I turned 18 August 18. And you know, just growing up in Oakland, it's no community like this anywhere else. Anywhere else. I mean, I spent the last year in Atlanta, Georgia. They have a good community, but they had nothing on Oakland. You know, this is home. This is, to me, just the best that you can ask for. You got Imam Fahim Shuaib. One of the best imams, and he's a friend of mine. You know, he's close. I mean, he's a major part of the movement, the Islamic movement in America, and he still can have the time to play basketball with me, laugh and joke with me. I mean, he's a friend. You know, I appreciate him. And his wife, Sister Yolanda, Sister Yolanda, she always has nice words to say, kind, gifts all the time, hugs, she's loving. And they reflect the whole community. I mean, everyone. Everyone here is just loving. It's like family. You know, I can tell anybody everything about me. Everyone knows everything about me. I know everything about everybody else. It's close, and this is something that is special, and I'm just glad that I'm a part of this community. I'm proud to be a part of Masjidul Waritheen community, and I love you too. I'm a recent graduate from W. Muhammad High School in Atlanta, Georgia. I plan to attend Fresno State, if not this year, next year, and major in business administration, play a little basketball. I mean, if y'all see me play, I got Jay. Try to do some other sports, soccer as well. So I'd just like to thank the whole community for supporting me all these years. Everyone, I love you.
Their children out to Waritheen Muhammad School. My brother who got on the plane, and we had to force him to get on the plane to go to Syria. And I told him, I said, no, you know my mother wants you to get on that plane. He said, what am I going to do? I said, you never know. And then look. So, I am very, very proud of the parents, the staff, the children, the graduates, and the rest of y'all who come and give all of your money to their Muhammad School. For those who have painted, mopped, dusted, and all of the rest of that. And I don't know what my mother would say about having an award in her name. But, you know, if it was up to me, all of the teachers would have an award in their name. And that's very special.
Wow. First, I want to say, Imam Shuaib, I don't have any gum. The Imam, like, the brother has the gum. Kill the gum. Look, I just have to say right quick, when I look at Yusuf, when I look at all of the young men, especially because I worked with the young men through the PE program, they are the walking, living examples, proof of some of the stuff that I think we hoped that they would have. And the key ingredients to be successful in America, because America is a competitive society. It's not a love society and everything. No, you must compete. And these young men, especially, which is manhood rights of passage, and it's like it's there. It's just, I can't say that. It's there. Because I'm feeling it. So I hope that you feel their confidence, the ability to attack the world like I do. All right. I want to. It says I have to thank you. Thank you, Zakia Tamu and all the youth recipients. But I think that I did my thank you. Now it's MC Sadiq. He's on the beatbox. MC Sadiq.
Wally, Ollie, we don't cause trouble, we don't bother nobody with just 2 minutes, that's all the mic. And when we rock up on the mic, we rock the mic. Woo! My Jerry girl. Before I bring this next, you know, I may not have had, you know, on the concrete, I may have not had that much influence on his football career. But there's one thing that I know he copied. Now, body in the masjid as cool as this brother. This is just a small attribute. This brother, he went to Syria. He went to Syria. I like to introduce our guest speaker, Hamid.
So, with that, we'll begin. I want to say, first of all, welcome to all of our guests and people who came from out of town, from other communities. Thank you for joining us here this evening. We thank you for your support. I hope that everyone is enjoying themselves. Is everyone enjoying themselves? Yeah. I'm enjoying myself as well. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. All praise is due to Allah. Prayers and peace upon our Prophet, his family, his companions, all of them together. The theme for tonight is past, present, and future. So I thought about it when I was working on this. Let's look at that. So past, present, and future. When we wanted to quiet us and practice in our religion, so the Prophet knew the need to have a safe house to give the Muslims their education. Also, it was a lack of education. As we know, many people were illiterate. They couldn't read or write. And the Prophet wanted to build the souls. He wanted to build strong souls of our community. All of these which are necessary to have a strong Islamic society. So this safe house, this place where we instilled our Islamic values, it became the center of all Islamic activity. The Sirah tells us the Prophet, he lived there for 3 years. It became crowded, and the Prophet, when he would lead prayer there. So this was the first Islamic education. This is in our past. In our more recent past, there was another educational institution, again in the house. This time in the house of a woman, Sister Clara Evans, better known as Claire Muhammad. I think y'all see where I'm going with this, right? And another house, the house of Sister Clara Clara Evans, the University of Islam, our first school in the Muslim American Society, the Nation of Islam. This was our first school.
That's right.
Another safe house.
That's right.
Another place to instill those strong values, those Islamic values, to build righteous Muslims, to build strong minds, to build strong people, and to build a strong Islamic society. There were also similar conditions. The government was oppressing our people. We know there was a lack of education, and the Muslims that were here in America were quiet. They weren't very loud in practicing their religion. This may have had something to do with the government. You see where I'm going? So you're seeing the connection. That this is in line with our Islamic identity. And we should be supporting these institutions. But it's something even more important than that I want to point out. In the Quran, Allah tells us, He says, لَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ لِمَنْ كَانَ, listen to this part, لِمَنْ كَانَ يَرْجُ اللَّهِ وَالْيَوْمِ الْآخِرَةِ وَذَكَرَ اللَّهُ كَثِيرًا. You have indeed in the messenger of Allah an excellent model. Remember we said this is our model for everything. An excellent model for he whose aim is Allah. And the final day, and remember Allah much. Okay, what's the connection? Now, I doubt if Sister Claire Muhammad knew about this particular Quranic ayah, but we know she had that Islamic spirit, right? What's the proof of that? Wasn't she not the one who introduced the Honorable Elijah Muhammad to that mysterious man who was teaching this new religion? So was not her aim Allah? And was not her aim to give her husband something that would give their family a better day to come? A final day? Do you see it? Okay, well what about dhikr Allahu kathiran? What about remembering Allah much? Y'all didn't think I had something for this one. Imam Muhammad has told us on many occasions how Sister Claire Muhammad would change the lyrics of the Christian spiritual songs to fit the Islamic format. And we know that the Christian spirituals is praising God. So isn't that not dhikr? Remembrance? There it is. This is in line with our Islamic identity. This is in line with our spiritual life. Alhamdulillah, I'm glad I made that connection. I thought, brother, you up here talking about? But alhamdulillah. And we know that it was threatened. It was a great threat to what they was trying to do. People didn't like this. So much that in the time of our prophet, peace be upon him, we know that when Umar ibn Khattab, and Allah be pleased with him, was coming to attempt to assassinate the prophet, this was the house that he came to. The house of Arqam bin Arqam. They knew that this is where the Muslims congregated, and this is where the prophet was. He was coming to try and kill the prophet. And in essence, this was the place, in consequence, this was the place where Umar took his shahada. So the mission was threatened. It was also threatened in the time of Sister Claire Muhammad. I'm thinking that they threatened her with arrest. Is that right? They tried to close her house down, but she persisted. Until the point where you're sitting on the grounds of one of the biggest Claire Muhammad schools worldwide, across the street from the Elijah Muhammad Culture Center at a gala banquet dinner for the first W.D. Muhammad High in the West. That's persistence. It's in line with our Islamic identity when Allah is the goal in the final day. So all the haters, get up. Please. But I know we got all love here. So they persisted, and it paid off. Until presently we have the great institution of Claire Muhammad Schools, of the Muslim American Society school system. A place where we come to grow, to learn the things that we must know. I think she's going to come up and be a school that offers us the best knowledge, truth, and righteousness. See, them real Claire Muhammad School students like this. Claire Muhammad School. And that's the love we have for this. But seriously, especially here in Oakland. Who said it? All of the brothers that came up here said we love this community. I was able to go to the school in Atlanta. Well, I was in high school. Yeah, I was in high school, but it's not like home. It is a different leadership. It's a different mind state. So alhamdulillah, we love this, especially here in Oakland. You read the sign, School of Excellence. students today and leaders tomorrow. That's serious business. The mission statement again, to produce a student that is a morally conscious, literate person capable of functioning responsibly in a modern society as a leader. Not just functioning in modern society, but leading modern society. I pondered a little bit though. And I said, and I thought about it, how could I even ask my wife, Shahida, how could I say this and not seem as if I'm trying to criticize? The question, the ponder was, in whose modern society? In whose modern society? My father and my mother, they always gave me the vision in our own modern society. That we're building our own modern society, not to create our leaders, train our leaders and send them out to lead somebody else's modern society. But with Brother Naeem in here, I thought about Brother Naeem, you know, he deals with this, where everybody invests money. It's like, would you invest your money for some time and then give it to somebody else to spend your money? Would you squander your investment like that? Let's continue building our own modern society so our leaders can lead in our own modern society. I think that's the vision, right? Infrastructure. And this leads us to our beloved teachers. Our beloved teachers, I say this respectfully, they're some of the same, I'm only 21 years old. The same teachers who were teaching when I was in Claire Muhammad School that are teaching here today. I'm talking about the veterans. My mother, may Allah raise her degree in paradise, Sister Salia Hamid, our principal, Sister Carla Ali, Sister Cora Alim, our director, Imam Fahim Shuaib, Sheikh Abdul Raouf, Sister Zainab. I'm talking about the veterans. Now, Brother Bayan, don't feel bad. Brother Sadiq, y'all do. I'm talking about the veterans. Sister Habiba. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Alhamdulillah. Looking at the uswa of our prophet, Imam, I do good with the uswa, Imam, God said sooner. I don't want to get no problem. Uswa to the hasana. I've been learning, inshallah. Looking at the uswa of our prophet, he says, it's a hadith, he says, Laysa minni illa allimu aw ta'allimu. The prophet said, you are not of me. You are not of my community unless you're teaching or learning. You just walk around soaking up game, just soaking a leech. You ain't benefiting nobody and you not a benefit to nobody else. He said, you're not even of my community. So our teachers said, come from far. You still in the Vacaville, Sister Carla? Far and wide. That's a commute. But every day, here on these grounds, to raise your leaders, to raise your children with their love, we should be appreciative of that. Sisters is coming over there. No, that's not true. My mother, every day of her life, and it ain't about the money anyway, let them tell it. Every day, my mom was the principal, so we had to be here before everybody else, and leave after everybody else. Sleeping in school, books and tables in school, but we love it. I mean, love it. It's growing and it's growing. But this just to ease your hearts, our beloved teachers. From our spiritual perspective, is a hadith that says Allah and His angels, the inhabitants of the heavens and the earth, the very ant in its anthill and the fish pray for the blessings of those who teach good. Allah is praying for you. The angels are praying for you. In the Arabic, it just says the alimu khayr, who teaches good. It didn't say the alimu ilmatu sharia, teaching knowledge of Islamic legislation. It just said good. So that's another round. Everybody be on work, on time at work. They say Allah is praying for us, so let's be on time and all that stuff. Okay. That's a joke. They'll be on time anyway. But there's two parts of that hadith. It said, Alimu wa ta'alimu. Alimu is teaching and ta'alimu is learning. So you guys, so now you teach it, but you also have to learn. You have to be a seeker of knowledge, right? So the other hadith says, students, I'm talking to the students now. Listen, young people. Whoever travels a path seeking knowledge, Allah makes easy for him or her a path to paradise. And again, it just said ilm, it just said knowledge. It didn't say ilmatul sharia, it just said knowledge. is a path on the Greyhound to Fresno, a path to seeking knowledge, or a plane to Syria, or the BART to Cal Berkeley? Is that not a path to seeking knowledge? Allah's making a path even to paradise. So young people, this is part of our life. We have to continue. And they only told me I had 30 minutes. I said I don't want to see nobody come up and start pointing at their wife. But it's our duty to learn and teach. This is our Islamic duty. And we know this, so I don't want to give no khutbah to the imams. I want to say preaching to the choir. But we know this, but we just want to continue to remind. But Allah is the goal, and we want to continue to build our future leaders. I only got one more page. This leads me to speaking personally. Again, and I testify, I'm so glad to be from this community. That my father is Nazim Hamid, my mother is Nazim Hamid, who is instilled for me to love and the respect of my leadership. My parents have continued to support this community. I'm grateful for that. And I'll let you know your mission statement here in Oakland is being fulfilled. It is being fulfilled very quickly. We know that I just got back from Syria, alhamdulillah, a program established by our leader, Imam Muhammad. Larry was there, my wife, Shahida, was there. But what I want you to know that the mission statement is being fulfilled. From my history, and from what I understand, Imam Muhammad only went there one time, by himself. Imam Clemen followed him up, and please correct me if I'm wrong. Imam Clemen followed him up one time, but after that, it's been the students who've been pushing that forward, leading, meeting with muftis of countries, going to his house, meeting with ambassadors of countries, ambassador of America to Syria. This is what we're doing, so it's being fulfilled. Syria ain't that modern, but we still been functioning responsibly. They get modern, they get a little bit. But that's one of the benefits of studying in Syria. It's not modern, so you know you can learn. You don't have the distractions. But and also I want to let you know that your children are pure. What do I mean by that? We don't have the scars of the transition. Y'all been raising us on raw, uncut dean. Straight with no chaser. And we love it. But listen what I'm saying. We don't have the scars. The people who have the scars know what I'm talking about. But we've been raised with 2 wings. A bird has 2 wings. If a bird just had 1 wing, he wouldn't be able to fly. Intellectual and spiritual. SubhanAllah, spiritual and intellectual. Spiritual first and intellectual. Remember, a morally conscious person. That was first, before the literal. And we want to help. We want to continue to help this community. You see our young people here working. And this is a national concern. This is a little bit more serious. A national concern. Why are we being trained on the grander scale that it should be? I'm not exposing. I'm not doing anything. Exposing the dirt, no. But you all understand what I'm saying. And right now I'm speaking to our elders. From New York to Atlanta, Georgia, to Washington, D.C. Why aren't we being trained? I mean, y'all got some excellent training. You know what I'm talking about. Y'all got some excellent training that refined your men, that refined your women. Some people try and criticize our nation, our family and the nation, but their men are refined. Their women are refined, and we respect that. We respect that. Alhamdulillah. And we see our unlimited potential. We see the unlimited potential of the Muslim American society. It's no invisible ceiling. My father helped me with this. Let me see how I did. And I'm going to go real quick. Y'all heard about the experiment they did on the fleas. They put the fleas in the jar. You know the fleas jump real high, right? Y'all know about this experiment? They put the fleas in the jar. They put a glass cap on the jar, right? Some saran wrap or something, so the fleas couldn't tell that it was on there. But anyway, the fleas would jump up. And they were used to jumping so high, but every time they jump up, they bump their head. They were jumping, they jumped. After some time, them fleas, we ain't about to keep jumping up there. I'm bumping my head every time. So really what they did, they slaughtered their own potential. They put it in their mind that I could only jump so high up to this roof, but then I'm gonna fall back down. And then the scientists, they took the cap off the jar to see if what they had predicted was true, and it was. The fleas stopped jumping. The cap was off, but they wouldn't jump no higher than what that ceiling was on it, that imaginary ceiling that told them that we could only achieve so much. Now, is it possible that that same experiment was done on humans? Just like that same experiment of the Willie Lynch letter was done on humans, and we see the proof of it today. Is that possible? We don't want to let that affect them, not the Muslims. But the point of me giving that example was your children see our unlimited potential. Alhamdulillah, our Imam Muhammad, our leader, Imam Muhammad, he's never been in that glass jar. He's never been affected by that imaginary ceiling, but he understands the minds of those who are. And he knows how to deal with those people who are, and he's been freeing your children from that He's been freeing your children, taking us to Malaysia and Damascus and Mali and all of these other places. That's the leadership that we have, that we love, making Allah the goal. Quick story. We were in Damascus. Which one do I want to say? We were in Damascus, and a lot of the Pakistani brothers and sisters, they children still from London and places, they send their young children out there to study too. So these were our peers there. The history of they have Muslims in America stops pretty much at the autobiography of Malcolm. So that's all they do. They try. I'm telling you, one time the brother was talking so bad on Honorable Elijah Muhammad, I was ready to slap him. Not to say no, don't do that. That wouldn't be in terms of the model community, Muslim American society. Muslim American society is a model community, and we here represent that model community. That wouldn't be, they don't know. But anyway, they didn't know. But they wasn't pleased with what we told them. That that the Imam Muhammad has changed that, and y'all know the story. But they wasn't satisfied, so they went off to the sheikh. They had to go claim it with the sheikh to get the proof. So they went up to the mountains, right? The sheikh was in the mountains, and the sheikh said, "Yeah, I know Imam Waritheen, and y'all need to quit questioning them people, because they are very good Muslims. Leave them people alone." Every time I saw them, brother. Every time we said, as if that we really mattered, we knew what was going on, but the Muslim American Imam Muhammad is global with this thing. Muslim American society is in Syria. I mean, the Muslim American society is there, and they respect our community. The only students who were able to sit with the mufti, I'm talking, we went to his house too many times. They were distracting us from our study. Some of the Syrians they say he treats you better than he treat us. Sometimes, hey man, it ain't our fault. That's our leader. That's Imam Muhammad who's done that. That ain't us. We just betrayed our leader. And we love this community. We love having the excellent minds, teachers like Imam Fahim Shuaib, Imam Qadir Al-Amin. We love this. And leaders like Fleeman T. Al-Amin, and teachers like Qasim Ahmed, and authors and leaders and businessmen like Imam Waritheen Muhammad. And the greatest leader of all, with no cattle, with no class, our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's our community. That's our community, and we love it. And this is the conclusion. The conclusion is, brothers and sisters, your children are under attack. And the young people listen to this too. Seriously, under attack. Every day they said the war on terrorism wasn't about Muslims. I'm not personally convinced. Y'all can take a point from me if you want. But I'm just assuming, I'm not personally convinced that it's not to threaten the perception of the world of Islam. And then listen to something else. Your children are under attack. We under attack, young people. I need some participation. This is it. Their brother told me that they're about to do a show, television show, promoting same-sex marriage. Some of y'all might have heard about this. I just want by a show of hands, who think it's going to be on Fox? I'm saying, who think it's going to be on Fox? Who think it's going to be on Cinemax after 12 o'clock or 8 o'clock? It's going to be on Nickelodeon. Swallow that one. This was I've been in Syria. I said, what? I've been listening. same homosexuality. They said the preacher, if you rape one little boy, that's okay. You can stay in the church. The man spent $2 on a tea at Starbucks and they try, you know what I'm saying? But we don't have that problem here in our community. We have righteous people, God-fearing people, and we should support them people. And when the haters come, fight them down. And support Claire Muhammad School and everything that it stands for, and our leadership. Alhamdulillah. Your children are under attack on Nickelodeon. The church is the homosexuals is in there. Instill the love for Al-Islam in your children. That was the point. Instill the love for Al-Islam in yourself. The ayat said, "Man kana yarjullahi wal yawmil akhir." Allah was the goal. That was the goal, was Allah. And that was the example. That was our prophet's goal. I'm almost finished. Your children are under attack. Build infrastructure for your children. Children support the infrastructure when it's built. Young people, not children, excuse me. Young people support the infrastructure when it's built. And it's built. And it will continue to grow. So it's not like we don't have nothing, we just have to make it better, more modern. With the modern, I can't say modern T's, that's not a real word. But anyway, I want to end with a quote. Anyway, Imam Shafi, one of the leading scholars of Islamic legislation, wrote in his book, Reliance of the Traveler. He says that may Allah be pleased with me, that the fathers and the mothers must teach their children what will be obligatory for them after puberty. I don't know, let me say this before I read this. I'm speaking as your child. Humbly. I'm speaking as your child who respects you and who's letting you know what's on the mind of your children. It said that the fathers and the mothers must teach their children what will be responsible for them, would be obligatory for them after puberty. The guardian must teach the child about tahara, purification, salat, song, and so forth, and that fornication, sodomy, theft, drinking wine, and slander, and the like are unlawful. And that he acquires responsibility at puberty and what that entails. And what that entails. What does it entail to be responsible for my salat? What does it entail to be responsible for fasting once I reach this degree in my life? It has been, the quote goes on to say, it has been said that this education is merely recommended, but in fact it is obligatory, as the plain content of a spiritual basis mentioned below shows. Just as it is mandatory for a guardian to wisely manage his charge's property, this is even more important. I'll read that again, I messed up. It has been said that this education is merely recommended, but in fact it is obligatory, as the plain context of his spiritual basis shows. Just as it is mandatory for a guardian to wisely manage his charge's property, this is even more important. So what is it saying? Just like you go watch your child's bank account or whatever, watching your child's growth and development, this is even more important than that. The merely recommended is what exceeds this. So what exceeds this, what is about to be mentioned, such as teaching them Quran, fiqh, tarbiyah, etiquette, teaching him what he needs to earn a living, After that, then it's recommended. The evidence for the obligation of teaching a young child is the word of Allah, mighty and majestic. It says, Bismillah, O you who believe, protect yourselves and your families from a fire. How does that relate to education? O you who believe, protect yourselves and your families from a fire. So Ali, may Allah be pleased with him, said he gave the understanding of this is that you teach them that which can save themselves from the fire. You teach them to appreciate making prayer and how that saves them from or guards them from committing sins, and how fasting gives them strength and self-restraint. So these things, the wisdom behind the religion, not just his religion, but the wisdom behind it, that would save you from the fire. So in essence, we have to make Allah the ultimate aim, and we must be given the tools of self-development and the tools for the management of society and young people. Bring your skills back home. Bring your skills back home. You know, and alhamdulillah, you see, they're here. So you don't have to fear betrayal. We love this community, but I stress it. Bring it back home, man. They said they was training you to be a leader for this society, not to go give it away to somebody else. I'm not talking no square business. For real, bring it back home. I mean, and so on the other side, they don't want to squander their investment, but are you going to be ungrateful for the time that they put in you? Your mom, I'm seeing half of these people's parents is students at the school. Don't give that what they gave you to somebody else. They don't like you. You who some. In real life. They don't respect you. Especially not that I'm saying, and no, Allah, understand the statement. Their religion is accepting homosexuals in their church. I'm talking about Islam right now. It's not a threat on Christianity. Please, any of our Christian brothers and sisters in the crowd, please don't take that as a threat. But we know that, and that's Catholicism. Actually, that's not even Christianity. That's Catholicism. But that's the mind state. They don't respect your deed. But you have to. You have to respect your deen and see the benefit of being a Muslim. See the benefit of submitting yourself to Allah and the benefit that come with it. Alhamdulillah, I've been married. I ain't had to worry about I haven't had to worry about $1 of supporting my wife since I got married. That's a blessing from Allah. That's one of the benefits that Allah say He'll bless the young man with, when He told the young woman with, when He does that. I don't fear that. My wife tells me she doesn't fear it either, and I believe her. I got married in Syria. I think my dad might have sent me about $300. And I was holding on to, I'm not saying that's all he sent me, but that's what I had at the time. He sent me way much more. Tom who sent me, but y'all sent alhamdulillah money from here. We got married last year, so the money that came this year was greatly. Rather we sent you over more than $300. No, but alhamdulillah. We love this. We have to making Allah the goal, returning to the goal. The focus is Allah. That was the example of our prophet. And in closing, we have the tools right here. Like I say, Larry, who's doing an excellent job of that security tonight. Don't let that brother fool you. He was there for 2 years also, before me. He was part of the founding delegation that went to Syria. He speaks Arabic. We got Camila who speaks Japanese. Did anybody know anything in Japanese? Konnichiwa, that might be Chinese. Is that Japanese? Camila, is that Japanese? Tabu speaks French, Shahida speaks Arabic, Amatullah speaks Spanish. There's the foreign language department right there. He basically directs the whole swimming department of the city of Oakland. It's resources. Right at home, they say what they're, alhamdulillah. I'll go all night. I'm not going to do that. But alhamdulillah, we've established the first WD Muhammad High School in the West, which I'm going to say is not only going to be the best in the West, but the best nationally. We're going to make it that way. The best nationally. Making Allah our aim, and together, young and old, continue building our modern society, our modern Muslim American society. Thank you very much. Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen.
This is wonderful. I'm 27 years old, and there's very few people around my age group in this community. And I began to wonder, wow, what am I to look at 30 years from now? What am I to be concerned about? You know, who's going to be there? Who's going to be our future? Who's going to be my future? And I am so glad. I am so happy. I am so proud that I have a Yusuf Nasir. I have a Muammar Ali. I have an Amatullah. I have a have a Kabila, I have a Suleiman Hamid, I have a Suleiman Hamid. So my future right now is looking real good.
Yes.
My future right now, our future right now is looking real good. So, you know, I mean, the brother's got a wife, he's got some backup. He's got some backup. Brother Beyonce. Brother Beyonce. All the single brothers, right, stand up. Stand up. All the single brothers, stand up. All right. That's what I'm talking about. Brother Khaled, you're in a wheelchair. Do a donut. That's your business, man. Let's do this. Let's do this. Hey, look. I'm gonna shut up.
All right, I'll be accepting all my applications right over there on that table. He put me on the spot with that one. I gotta get him. I knew Sadiq when he was Ronald. And I'm gonna tell you about the time we went out when he was single. And one of the things that I was thinking about when Suleiman was talking, and he made a couple points, and he talked about this generation being raw, uncut, having the raw, uncut deen. And I thought about being a free thinker, and that Imam Muhammad has inspired the community to be free-thinking people. I knew that I was going to be a part of this community. It was on one Sunday, Talim, it was packed. Imam Shuaib had gave a political talk, and I stood up afterwards. I was about 19 years old, and I said, well, what if you disagree? Because I was infused with African philosophy, so I was African. Everybody was African. Yeah. So I'm like, I'm African? What's up? You know, that was my thing. So he gave this talk, and I was like, okay, what if we disagree with the political position of Imam Muhammad? You know.
And grow with it. Take a direction and grow with it. Take a direction and grow with it. It might make you feel bad. Then again, it might make you feel glad. The only thing you can hold is what you see as your goal. Take a direction and grow with it. Take a direction and grow with it. Take a direction and grow with it. The glow is shining bright. take the direction and grow with it. There's other things you should know. Faith don't come easy, and love sometimes walk real slow. Allah comes between a man and his heart. Go ahead, now make your start. Now go and grow with you making your demands. Within you, Allah can make the best of plans. Now go and grow and take a direction and grow with it. Take a direction and grow with it. Take a direction and grow with it. The glow is shining bright. The world is yours in all its delight. Stage by stage, you've made your plans. Put your trust in Allah. Friends might see your courage and stand. Take the truth from the Quran and expand. Now go and grow and take a direction and grow with it. 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 Praise to the God, Master Allah. Read the Quran all day, every day. Also pray, don't waste the slate, cause Shaitan is trying to manipulate you every single day. Education is what we should be about. Black and white, cyber, no doubt. Getting back to real things, it was need to give us all the chance and self-esteem. Some swear headed because my skin is black. Some swear headed because my skin is black. Colonialism is what you see. Take back in history. Kids in the car and get with the program. Kids in the car and get with the program. Kids in the car and get with the program. Kick that habit of putting skin down, bad media when I was all looking like clapping. Curve discrimination, respect, revelation. Without it, can't you hear? Tradition is ever drawing in. Kids in the car and get with the program. Kids in the car and get with the program. Kids in the car and get with the program. Many have pain and fame and be sarcastic. Nickname wickedness is fun, it's ill. Fill the earth with nonsense of will. Responsibility for our good and bad things. They were both will save us, and we all need to take it. Kids in the car and get with the program. Kids in the car and get with the program. Kids in I mean, we finna rhythm. Yeah, kick it to the curb and get with the program. Kick it to the curb and get with the program. Kick it to the curb and get with the program. The system learns to get credit where credit is due. Stop taking from one and say it's you. You said you did it, but the truth you really hit it through envious eyes and then puffed up pride on the backs of others. You taking a ride. Kick it to the curb and get with the program. Kick it to the curb and get with the program. Kick it to the curb and get with the program. When it's how I came and made a stand, do you think our lives forgotten, man? Wise up and understand. I'm ready to make the best of plans. All mankind, let's read the signs and make it clear. We created nations and tribes to know one another and not despise. Kick it to the curb and get with the program. Kick it to the curb and get with the program. Kick it to the curb and get with the program. Allah, praise for our good intent deeds. Don't wait too late to make truth your song see. And I'm telling this to all mankind. Unrighteousness kicks the door open to hell, and we don't want to be a part of that program. Can't you tell? Hey, y'all want another one?
Take it to the curb and get with the program.
At this time, I'd like to invite my respected brother Salim Salimi to join me on the stage. We want to present to him. I have other comments, but he does have to go, and we think it otherwise would have been in the awards section that follows immediately after. But I want to respect his time, his energy, and I'm sure he wants to get back to his lovely wife who is unable to join us tonight. Salimi, most of you know that, at least from the Bay Area, Indus Foods. And without fail, without hesitation, when we ask for donations of halal meats from Indus, with a smile, with a good spirit, without reservation, they always give, not only to events like the Eid of Excellence when we have them, but also for the Eid activity, Eid al-Adha, Eid al-Fitr, all of those. And we simply want to acknowledge him and his family through him for their contributions with this plaque, which reads, with Allah's name, the merciful benefactor, the merciful redeemer, given in recognition to a dedicated supporter, Salim Salimi. And the Quran says, whoever recommends and helps in a good cause becomes a party therein. And this is issued at the Claire Muhammad School's 20th Annual Evening of Excellence, June 22nd, 2002.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum. I am really grateful for this wonderful present. As a matter of fact, I feel very much honored, and I feel that my community has really given me a great honor to be part of this community for last 20 years. So I thank